welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, welcome to everybody who's a new viewer. I hope you enjoy the show. This is a podcast about knitting and sewing and sometimes other crafty things. My name is Millicent and I'm coming to you from South Africa, where it is now spring, and I'm so happy about that. In the southern hemisphere, our summers are longer than our winters, and I am definitely a summer child. I feel like I've had a holiday. I'm ready for new adventures, and I'm very excited that it is spring. Today I'm going to be sharing some knitting with you, some sewing with you, and some of my favorite things, and I hope you enjoy the show. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is, what am I wearing? So I'm not wearing a knitted garment because it is quite warm today, but I wanted to share with you a summer jacket that I sewn in 2011 for myself. It is a Cynthia Rowley pattern, Cynthia Rowley for Simplicity. It is pattern number 2443, and I sew this one, so it's view C. I haven't made any of the other patterns, but I do plan to sew the dress as well. And you can see there is loose ribbons and they tie into that loop in the front. But let me show you my version. So I'm going to stand up just quickly. So this is what it looks like at the back. Okay. So I omitted the ties here in front, and what I did is I looped the button through so that it ties like that. There are pockets here at the top and these little pockets over here. I didn't line it. It has a facing here at the top. You can see. I didn't line it because I wanted it to be a light jacket. It's made of a linen fabric, and then it has these D-loop ties here at the back, and I really like it. I do recommend Cynthia Rowley's patterns. I don't see her things in the new Simplicity books anymore, so I hope she isn't finished designing for them, because I really have a lot of her patterns and I really enjoy sewing them. But I can definitely recommend this pattern. I'm sure you will be able to find it online, or you can order it from your local sewing shop. So you probably saw by now that I'm including a few videos. Today I was in Cape Town 2 weeks ago for a surprise visit to my cousin, and we spent the time going to all kinds of yarny places, and I am going to include some of those videos, and hopefully I will have some more videos for the next episode as well, because I took quite a few videos. So yes, I hope you enjoy that piece. Today in the knitting segment, I have no finished objects. I was hoping to have at least one, but life happens and I have a full-time job and I can't knit all the time, although I wish I could. But let me show you the progress I've made on 3 of my projects, and I've made quite significant progress. So the first one is a project you have seen in its infancy, and it has grown quite significantly. So let me get that for you. Okay, so this is my Shockwaves wrap by Beata Jezek, I think, the lady from Hedgehog Fibers. It is a free pattern on Ravelry and on the Hedgehog Fibers website. So when you saw this, it was about here. Now, this is the first color. We are on to color number 2, and we are on to color number 3. So this is the progress from the Progress Keeper that I've made this week. So I'm sure I will be able to finish it soon. This is, I've only used stash yarn, and it is quite yarn hungry, which is quite nice if you want to make a dent in your stash and you have a few balls of yarn that doesn't have anything that match it. There are lovely projects on the project page on Ravelry. So this is Rowan Fine Art in the Kingfisher colorway. This is Cowgirl Blues, a local South African indie dyer. And this is Francophile Knits in the Normandy base and the Hortensia colorway. And the designer behind this yarn is called Devon, and she also has a podcast called Francophile Knits. Yes. Okay, so that is where I am with that. I really love it. Every time I start one of the yarns, I think that is my favorite yarn. I did lose that yarn chicken. Here there are supposed to be 3 rows of 2 rows in this color still left, and there's only 2. And the last row in this second row here is a different yarn because I didn't do my calculations correctly, which is only my fault, nobody else's fault. I was just knitting away, not concentrating, and then I wasn't going to rip back all the way to make 2 rows less here. So I just left it. Nobody's going to see it. I really enjoy it, and I can recommend this pattern. The second one is also a project you have seen before. It is called the Jonquil pattern, or Jonquili, I don't know how to pronounce it, by Martin Story. You would know if you've watched before that he's one of my favorite designers. When I showed you this, I just finished the ribbing. So I have finished 1 repeat of the pattern, and I have 2.5 repeats for the front. So I've made quite some significant progress. I must say this is not an intuitive pattern. I won't recommend it if you are a beginner knitter. There's cables and charts and different stitches, especially where you make the hearts. It's quite different. But what I can say is when I knit the back, I found the pattern very difficult, and that was at the beginning of this year. Since then, I've knitted a lot, more than I've ever knitted before in my life. I've been very inspired this year by all the podcasts. So my skill has improved quite significantly, and the front is going a lot easier than I remember the back is going. So I can definitely say that practice makes perfect. The sleeves are just plain, so once I finish the front, then it's going to be very quick. This is the back. Yes, so I really enjoy it. And this yarn, I know a lot of people don't like knitting with cotton yarn, but this yarn, the Summerlight 4-ply of Rowan, is so soft, and I'm really enjoying working with it. The pattern is from this book. All the designs are by Martin Story, and it's a beautiful book. I think this is my favorite book of all my Rowan books that I own. Okay, the next project, I'm going to include some acquisitions that I got on my trip to Cape Town as well. And we were fortunate enough to visit the Natural Yarn studio. She has an online shop that I've spoke about many times before, and I do feel like we are friends, but we've never met before. So I met Gina for the first time on my Cape Town trip, and I got some yarn there that I had in my cart online for a long time. And I'm so glad I didn't purchase it because I ended up buying different colors than I originally wanted to. So the pattern is the Regatta pattern. It's this one. And I really like this look, the sailor look with the navy and the white and the red. But I wanted to knit a summer cardigan that goes with my wardrobe. And I wear a lot of soft pinks and so on. So I have a completely different color palette, but I really like it. So let me show that to you. This is how far I am. It is a great pattern. It is only garter stitch. with a little bit of increases on the side, nothing complicated. I looked at the at the project pages on Ravelry, and this white collar, I thought it was a shirt that she's wearing underneath, but it is actually knitted on. So I'm going to omit that collar and just make it a round neck, because I'm not sure if I like the collar, but a lot of people mentioned that on the Ravelry pages, and I'm so glad I looked at that. So I'm going to omit that. So this yarn is the Eco Cotton of Nurturing Fibers. It is 100% organic cotton. It's a double knit, and I'm using the seashell colorway. This is the seashell colorway, and I'm using the wine barrel colorway for the trim around. And then why I'm so happy is the other color. It's not named because it is a once-off colorway, and I like it so much. It's not as lavender as you see it on the picture. It's a little bit more pinkish purple, but I love it, and I'm so glad I got this. So I got the sweaters quantity for this cardigan. This is the back. Yes, so I am just going along. It's a very quick knit. I'm not participating in any very formal knit-alongs, but I'm going to push myself with these two cardigans because there's a year-long cowl that the Knitting Expat podcast is hosting, a sweater along. But she recently announced that she might end that knit-along at the end of September. And I already entered the other one I showed you into that, and I would like to finish them before she closes the knit-along. So I'm going to push myself to finish these two at the end of September, which is, I think it's possible if I put my mind to it, but we'll see. So that is the 3 projects that I have been working on, and I've basically only been working on those 3, although I've been itching to cast on more things. If you've watched before, you would know I have a lot of projects on the go, but I am trying to control myself a little bit. So yes, so that is what I got. I got more things at Natural Yarns. Yes, at Natural Yarns, but I will show you that at the end of the video. Okay, so I told you I'm going to talk a little bit about sewing today. So I am going on a holiday in a month's time, and I'm going to Cape Town again and the West Coast for 9 days. And in the week, I stumbled across another podcast, a sewing podcast called I'm with Wendy, and she made a little backpack, and I was so inspired that I immediately thought I'm going to make one for me as well. So hers is made out of a light blue color and a little bit more sturdy fabric, and I would have loved to have a plain one. I think I would prefer that, but I was in too much of a hurry, and I went to my sewing shop and bought the fabric that I could find that will work with it. I still love it though, and I think it's going to be so cute. So it's complete, and let me show you. So this is my little backpack for my holiday. There's the straps at the back, and it has the 2 zippers in front. And it has a little zip pocket here. So there's a whole tutorial on YouTube where she gives you the dimensions and everything. I made a mistake, I think, when I converted the inches to centimeters, because can you see I had to insert a patch here at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. It's really simple to make. I know it looks complicated. It's a little bit fiddly because obviously of the shape. And what's really cute is she shows you to use 2 separate zippers to have the double pull here. So the fabric I used is a cotton fabric. So it's cotton, but it is lined with this plastic covering. So in her video, she uses a very much more sturdier fabric. So I made my fabric double and I interfaced it. So that's how I got the stiffness of the backpack. But how cute is that? I'm going to love using it. I'm going to probably make one for my boyfriend as well because he's going with me on holiday. Obviously not in the same fabric. I will get something a little bit more man-friendly for him. But how cute is this? So it's a little mini backpack. And I'm looking forward to using it for my holiday, and I'm sure we will take some pictures on the holiday as well and videos, and then I will show you that. I'll put the link in to the video tutorial in the show notes so that you can follow that. But I made this in one evening. It's not complicated. Okay, so I have one other sewing thing I would like to show you. It's not 100% complete. This is made out of stash fabric. I didn't use a pattern. It was part of my sewing class, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. So it's just a simple dress that I drafted the pattern. So it has a boat scoop neck and a little bit lower at the back, and then it has cap sleeves. And she showed me how to use this type of binding. It's so nice. It's a little bit elastic, and then you just fold it over and then stitch it. So it's a really nice finishing. I did the same around the neck edge, but the neck edge I folded in completely. So yes, and it has pleats, and I still need to do the hem. It has a invisible zip on the side, and I'm hoping to wear this when I record next time. So I'm going to finish this today. I just need to hem it. I didn't line it because my plan is to make 2 slips for myself. I have quite a few dresses and skirts that I think the fit would be better with a slip underneath. And I don't want to take away from the lightness of the fabric. When you line a fabric, it does make it more sturdy as well, but I like the softness and the lightness of this fabric, and I don't want to take away from it. And I'm also planning on attaching, because it is quite a wide neck, I don't want my bra strap to show. So I'm going to attach a little ribbon here with a clip where you can attach your bra strap in there so that it stays like that. But yes, this is a linen and silk blend fabric. I really love it. It reminds me of India for some reason. I don't know why. I've had this fabric in my stash for over 5 years, and I'm so happy that I used it. I haven't decided on the length yet of the skirt. I've made it quite long, sort of midi length, which is the fashion at the moment. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep it like that, and when I'm tired of the length, I can just shorten it. So we will see. But that is what I'm planning to finish today. And that is it for my sewing. I have some plans, but I will share that with you once I have all my things together to share that with you. Waar weer? For the last segment in today's video, I'm going to talk about some acquisitions and some of my favorite things. And the video that you just saw was the Cowgirl Blue stand, and her yarn is one of my favorite things. And it can be bought online at cowgirlblues.co.za, and I can really recommend it. I have a few of her colorways and I really love knitting with it. I talked about her in my first episode as well. So let me show you some acquisitions that I made in Cape Town. So at one of the stores we were, I didn't buy any yarn, but I got some Addy lace needles, and I don't know where to find it in Johannesburg, so it's the first time I got these. So I'm looking forward to, I got a few different sizes, sort of the regular shawl sizes between a 3 and a 4. I think I bought 3 sizes, so I'm looking forward to using these. And then some yarn that I got at the watershed in Cape Town. It wasn't at the Cowboy Blue stand. It is the soft spin knit stand. But I think this might actually be dyed by Carlay from Nurturing Fibers. I'm not 100% sure, I'm assuming, but I think so. So there's not a lot of information on here. It just says lamb's wool, extra fine, and then it says it's 100 grams, but it doesn't say the weight. But it is a beautiful color. It's a little bit brighter than it's showing up, but I love it. And I got 2 of those skeins. So I'm not sure what I'm going to make with it. I'm thinking of making a hat and a cowl that matches, or something like that for winter. And then some of my other acquisitions from my visit to the Natural Yarn studio, and I'll insert a picture here of the 3 of us, my cousin and Gina and myself. So I got, I've always wanted to knit the 3-color cashmere cowl pattern that's on Ravelry. So I got 3 colors from Eden Cottage Yarns. This light pink, this is more mint green than it's showing up, and this light one. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I got some monosh yarn. It is the let me see, I'm not sure. Okay, but it's the 3-ply. It's baby alpaca and prima cotton, and I have a specific pattern in mind for this. So this is also green. So I got 3 skeins of that, which is the quantity I need for my pattern. And then I also got some wool wash soaps from her that I haven't tried out yet, but I will tell you once I've used it how it works. But yes, so that was my acquisitions that I got in Cape Town. I got a little bit of fabric as well, but I'm not going to share that with you today. And then the other favorite thing I wanted to share with you that has inspired me so much is the Stitched in Sweden podcast. So many people have been speaking about her. Her name is Maria Monska, but I want to do everything she's doing. So part of my future sewing plans includes what she has on her podcast. So you can go check that out if you don't want to wait until I share it. But there are 2 things that I want to make that she has inspired me to do. She also makes bread. She also makes jam. She's a sewist and a knitter, and I really recommend watching her podcast. And then the last thing that I want to share with you today, that is one of my favorite things, and it is a little bit off topic, but it is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I know I'm not alone in the knitting community. And I've heard some mixed reviews about this book, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to read it. But I did buy it, and I love it, and I'm really enjoying it. And I know some people have mixed feelings about the story, but I do feel that it's not my story. If you watched interviews about J.K. Rowling, she talks about how she has this whole world and all the characters in her mind, and they live on, and she has all these stories. So I feel that I can't really have an opinion about a story that's not my story to tell, and I can just observe it and enjoy it, and I'm really enjoying it. So it's a playwright. I wish so much I would have been able to see this play, but I probably never would, because I don't think it would come to South Africa. But it's a quick read. It takes you back into the world, which I love so much, and I really enjoy it. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Come join the chat on Ravelry, and you can ask me any questions on there, and you can also get in touch with me on Instagram. As I say, I have a full-time job, so I'm not always very quick to respond, but I do try to respond eventually. And I look forward to seeing you again in about 3 weeks' time. I'm going to go out with a video that I was very lucky when I landed from Cape Town. The Olympic team landed as well. So that was so exciting. So I'm going to insert a little bit of a video here. You can't see them very well because there was quite a large crowd, but that was quite fun. So goodbye and enjoy your day.